Hi, I just got off of work, got a little headache, had a very long day. I was going to record this video earlier, but it did not happen. So I'm off of work and I tell myself, you say you're going to stay consistent and go ahead and record the video with the headache and all. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, number one is I said, don't live offended. I said, be open to what others say and know what to keep and what to throw away. If it's attacking your character, drop it. What I mean by that is that I deal with a lot of people that live in defense mode and they believe that they're not the problem when they are the problem. They think other people are the problem. And it's like they say they want to get better. They say they want to thrive in life. But when you give them advice or try to give them constructive criticism, they don't want to hear it. Those type of people irritate the hell out of me, and I cannot deal with them. I'm being honest, because the type of person that I am, I don't live offended. Why I don't live offended? Because I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to be successful. So when people tell me positive things about myself and are things out of love or tell me things that I need to work on, I'm open and I love listening to it. Why? Because at the end of the day, I'm very secure of who I am as a person, and I know that where this person's coming from. So when they tell me something, I know it's out of love, and I know that 9 times out of 10, what they're telling me, I need to improve on. So when you want to grow, when you want to succeed, when you want to be successful, and you want to work on getting closer with God, and you're working on being like God, you're going to be open-minded. And successful people and people that want to grow, they don't live offended. So those type of people, like I said, that get offended and live offended, you notice that they're stagnant. They don't grow. They don't go forward. They don't go backward. They stay where they're at. They're always complaining. They're always showing narcissistic ways. And those type of people, the reason why they stuck where they at is because they don't want to grow. They live offended. You can't live like that. When people tell you something about yourself, most definitely people that love you, I'm telling you, they're seeing something that you don't see. Sometimes we need people that are on the outside to look and let us know what they see on the outside of our lives. Sometimes that's what we need. If we're wondering or knowing that, hey, I can't get along with nobody, I'm not thriving in my company, I feel stagnant, it's because something is going on that you can't see, but your friends, your best friends, the people that love you, they can see it. So when they tell you about it, you need to be open and don't be closed-minded. Closed-minded people are annoying as hell. I'm telling you, don't be closed-minded. And even if you don't agree, okay, if you don't agree, then okay, respectfully let them know you don't agree. Don't mean you have to take their advice. So another thing, if it's people that you know that are attacking you, now those type of people or those hate comments, different things like that, you know to leave those out. Keep the good, ignore the bad. So sorry that one was long. Number 2, truly understand yourself and know who you are. Okay, the more you strengthen you and the more you know yourself, nobody else can tell you about yourself. You truly understand what you like, how you feel, what you don't like. When you know what you want out of life, when you know who you are as a person and you're solid and you build a solid foundation with yourself and with God, nobody else can tell you about yourself. That's the thing about myself. Let's use myself for example. You guys, I'm a very strong-willed person. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to say what I want to say, whether you like it or not. I'm going to live my life whether you like it or not. I'm stubborn like that. That's just how I am, right? And when people try to tell me about myself, it don't matter, because what they say is not true, or what they say about me, I already know. Like, for example, people always say, like, hey, you have manly mannerisms. You are masculine. You are not feminine enough. You always talk like you mad. I hear that all the time, and I know that. Okay, so when people tell me that, I don't get offended. Or people say, have people tell you that you're really like masculine, like your ways are really like tomboyish. Okay, I already know that, so it don't bother me. Okay, I know who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the most daintiest person. I'm direct. I am who I am. And who I am, I'm not afraid to show people. And who I am, what you see is who you get every single day. That's the type of person that I am. So when people try to tell me about me, I know about me. It don't bother me. Okay. Like my family members, you guys, one time I was really, really skinny. So one of my family members was like, hey, like you look really sick, right? But when she say that, when I look in the mirror, I thought I looked good as hell. So I was like, okay, thank you for your opinion. But honestly, it don't matter because I think I look good. I think I look great. So you think I look sick? I mean, you're concerned. You know what I mean? I'm optimistic like that. Like I said, I thought I looked good. So I appreciate that you're concerned. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. Okay? Number 3, I said accept mistakes and move the heck on. The mistakes you make, it won't be the first and it won't be the last. Okay? I don't know if you're like me, like who I am. When I make a lot of mistakes, like growing up, when I make mistakes, my parents were very hard on me. So when I made mistakes, I used to get beat up really, really bad about it. Okay? So me, I carry that all the way, you know, from a child to a teenager to adult. When I make mistakes, I beat myself up really bad about it. So I used to, okay? Because now I'm getting better at it. So I'm really hard on myself, but I'm noticing, look, that's not the first mistake. That's not the last mistake. You're not always going to make the right decision. Make a decision. And if it's a bad decision, reflect on it. If it's a good decision, move the heck on. So just know that you're going to make mistakes. It don't matter. And unfortunately, people are going to judge you on your mistakes. But like I said, like, don't give a damn about that. Okay. You're human. Just know you're human. I'm all about giving yourself grace and moving the heck on. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to number 4. I said, own up to your flaws and know your flaws and know that improvements are always going to be an everyday thing. So the thing about me is that my flaws, I know my flaws, so nobody can use them against me. And when people bring up my flaws, I already know them. Okay. But I know that there's a room for improvement. Like, for example, it's really hard for me to get along, to deal with people. For example, it was really hard for me to deal with people. Give me anxiety, different personalities. There's a lot of corrupt people in the world, and that's a trigger for me. So I was always arguing, going back and forth, shutting down. I didn't like to stay on jobs. I try to avoid people. I try to avoid conversations. Now, that's not healthy, right? That's not healthy, but I'm just telling y'all there's room for improvement, right? So I know that's something that I have to work on. And I know when it comes to corrupt people, I have a pure spirit. So corrupt people, or people that think corrupt, are people that they're not on the up and up. They rub my spirit the wrong way, and I become really combative with people like that. But that's a trigger, right? I know that's a trigger. Knowing your triggers and knowing that, like, knowing your triggers and knowing your flaws and owning up to it. Okay, owning up to it. Like, for example, like another example, me. I know sometimes I'm not always that friendly. If you're being rude to me, I'm gonna check you on it, and if I don't like you, I'm gonna show you and tell you I don't like you. I'm still going to be pleasant, but I'm going to let you know, look, like, we not friends like that. Okay. So that's a flaw. That's not nice to be like that to people. So like I said, just knowing your flaws, owning up to it, and knowing that it's always room for improvement. Okay. Number 5, I said, ooh, this is going to help you for real. I'm telling you. So number 5. Okay. Number 5. Number 5 is allow a comment to bother you for a short amount of time. So when people say things, I know sometimes people can say things and it sticks to you or it bothers you, or when people say it, you may notice that, like, it lingers a little bit later. Like a day later, you hear the comment pop in your head and it's bothering you and you're pondering on it. Then you look up and you notice that you're pondering on what they said for 3 to 5 days, even a week. Okay. We're not going to spend that much energy. I'm going to be honest with you. We're not going to do that. Life is too short. You have so much more important things to focus on. We're not going to get stuck on comments. Okay. So this is a challenge that I want you to do. This is a challenge. I want you to, if someone says something that offends you, or you read like a comment, or someone tells you what somebody else says about you or anything like that, let it bother you for a day. After that, it's time to get over it. It's time to get over it. A day. Or if you're like, okay, Michelle, like a day, that's not realistic for me. 3 days, that's it. Move on. Or what I do, if something bothers me, I will replay it in my head, right? For as long as I possibly can, okay? If it's about 3 hours and it keeps popping up and I keep, thinking about it, I give myself that 3 hours, okay? Then I get away from it. Then it pops back up. Okay, then I keep thinking about it again, right? But I notice that I tell myself when things bother me, or I write it out, or I tell somebody, right? So if something bothers me, I'm like, hey, like, I write it out like I didn't like this. Or I tell myself like, I didn't like when this person said this, and this bothered me because this triggers something. I didn't like this. This hurt my feelings. This triggers sadness. This triggers something in me. This triggers something from my childhood. This, I don't like, it just left a salty taste in my mouth. I didn't like that, right? And I notice when I voice and I say that, it helps me get over it faster, right? And then I tell myself, look, you're human. It hurts your feelings. It's validated. Move the heck on. It's not important. So try that. That's number 5. So don't let don't let comments stick to you. Things that people say to you, don't let it linger. Okay? You're wasting time. You trying to get this money. You trying to get to your dreams. You're trying to get to God's purpose. You got to get back on that. The devil will bring distractions. The devil will bring things in your life to try to distract you from what God wants you to focus on. This is just the best advice that is going to sum up all the other tips. This is going to put the icing on the cake, okay? This is going to put the icing on the cake. So this bonus one, I love to sometimes leave my videos with bonus ones. Okay, I said, pray to God to help you move on from harsh criticism. Let me tell you this again. I got to get loud because this going to help you. And I know my brother's like, bro, come on. Why are you loud? Let me say it again. Pray to God to help you move on from harsh criticism. Some days, people will say things and it bothers us. It will make us cry. It will make us not sleep. It will make us not want to eat. It will cause us to not be able to focus at work, to focus on tasks, to focus on things. But what you're going to do, you're going to pray to God. And you're going to ask God to give you the strength to handle criticism. You're going to ask God to help you deal with people that you know that don't like you. People that you know that want to see bad come to you. People that you know that want nothing good to come your way. We're going to pray for those people, but we're going to pray to God to give us strength and give us the coping skills to handle criticism. We're going to pray to God to ask God to give us tools to handle it. When I start praying this, I noticed that my interaction with people started to become easier. Now to where I feel like I'm a master at it. I could deal with difficult people, and I deal with a lot of people that they read me wrong and they think that I'm mad, or they interact with me and see how I talk and see how I articulate, and they think I'm gonna automatically be like difficult to work with. I get that a lot. A lot of people tell me all the time, hey, when I first met you, I thought you were mean. But after meeting you, like you're a really down to earth, non-judgmental, sweet person. I get that all the time, and I know that. So when I know that like people are not treating me fairly because of a perception that they have of me, or a lot of people like to treat me by what other people say, I know that, right? That don't bother me. I just know, and I have confidence. Like, hey, once you get to know me, you'll love me. Once you know that what that person told you about me, it's not true. And I hear a lot of people say, hey, I'm not gonna lie, so-and-so told me this, and this, and I was judging you off of that. And then once I got to get to know you, I went back and told them, you read my show completely wrong. I deal with that, right? And I know that with people that don't know me, I know I deal with it all the time. And I know how to deal with difficult people. And I've been in really messed up situations that it has prepared me to deal with difficult situations that come in my life. So it's nothing. Criticism, you guys, I get chewed up and spit out every day. I've been getting chewed up and spit out by people my whole entire life. I'm used to it, right? And I pray to God, and God gave me the wisdom, and God gave me the tools to be able to deal with that. So I really believe, and I know that these tips are going to help you. Apply them to your life and come back and talk to me. Let me know like if they helped. But I know for a fact these tips are going to help you. Why? Because they help me.